As they race up towards the line.
Bryce is going along like a winner.
With a photo finish between second and third.
Oh, it was close.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me on the Back a Winner Racing Update brought to you by Smart Odds. Compare odds with Smart Odds now. Sign up and use the code WINBIG in capitals to get a 30-day free trial. That's a month free trial instead of the normal 14 days. And punters, it is a great tool. It'll give you the advantage, especially with the big races coming up. Make sure you're taking the best prices, not underselling yourself, and the Smart Odds comparison tool will give you exactly what you need there. Thanks everyone for joining me, and really looking forward to this weekend. We've obviously got a stack of good races. Last weekend, Sydney went ahead. Good to see a lot of the bets I was keen on land. Well done anyone that jumped on Autumn Glow. Fantastic win. Via Sistina also excellent. I thought it was a really good weekend of racing. So we'll get stuck into this weekend, and a lot of good races again this weekend. So plenty to get involved with. We've got better weather around this time around, which is great. Obviously, Sydney copped a stack of rain last weekend. So I'll get started. First things first, the Memsie Stakes. This is a ripper. It's race 9 at Caulfield over the 1400, 750k up for grabs. There's a lot of stars in this race. Mr. Brightside put in a poor one last start, but he can certainly bounce back. Another Will flies fresh. Treasure of the Moment trialled really well. And all listeners know I'm a huge fan of her. She has a stack of upside, and I think she can absolutely win this. And Fangirl with a dry deck is going to be very hard to beat. I'm with Treasure of the Moment. I think this is the right race. I think it'll be hard to beat. Mr. Brightside obviously brings the class in, and Tino's my third pick and another Will. But I am with Treasure of the Moment. She is a star. She'll be really tough to beat in this kind of field. So that's my choices for the Memsie Stakes there. We've got the WW Cochrane Stakes, which is race 8. Also a handy field here. A couple of these with really good upside. Miss Rombini will be hard to beat fresh. She's trialled really well. Magic Time is the class. Bit hard to catch at times, but I think it'll be tough to hold out. But the one I'm with is Pop Award. Listeners will know I'm also been keen on this horse for a while. It just keeps winning. I love the way it's going about things. This is a much harder race than it's seen in the past. But look, it's loaded with upside. It's really going well lately. And I'm keen to stick with it. I think it's great odds. Should run a nice each-way race. Race 6, the McNeil Stakes. This has 200 grand up for grabs. Bit of a tricky one, this. I did have Vinrock on top. I think it's got the race fitness, and it's a winner. So it maps well from the draw, but I'm weary about a few of these. Jimmy Ricard's going really well. I liked his last start win. Really savaged the line. Son of Kirk from the pole position looks dangerous. And the chances don't end there. So a bit of a wide open one in the McNeil Stakes. The Heatherley Stakes is the next one. This is race number 5. Bit of an open field again. Bit hard to decipher here, but I've got Golden Path on top. 550 on the odds comparison. That's really nice price. It's a bit of a drift, but I think this is the horse to beat with Blake Shin aboard. The one I'm weary about is Kingswood. There's $9 on the Smart Odds comparison. I think you can back both each way. I know barrier 17 isn't ideal, but gets along really well with Johnny Allen, has won on this track. I think it's ready to go fresh, and it has won fresh in the past, so very weary of that runner as well. That's the Heatherley handicap. For the up-and-coming stakes, this is going to be race number 6 at Rosehill, and the wet track's in the soft 7 conditions. So, again, a really open field here. I've gone for a little bit of value with 60s. I like its upside. I think this is a good race for it. I know there's a lot of chances here, but this is has been well tried in early markets. 380 on the Smart Odds comparison. Barrier 4, Zach Lloyd. I think it's over the odds. I think this is the clear runner to beat. I loved its last start win. Obviously, it didn't beat much, but it won by 7 lengths on the heavy. If we do get into a heavy range, I think it'll just be even harder to beat. And Central Coast has been scratched from the race, so a key chance has come out of the race. And I'm with the favourite here, despite the slight drift. As well, the San Domenico Stakes is race 8 at Rosehill. I am with Woderton, but I'm weary punters. I think it'll be very hard to beat here fresh, but it has burnt punters a few times before. 290 at the moment on the Smart Odds comparison. Keep an eye on what the market does. I know the form around Vinrock Mahuna is good. It's bumped into some handy ones, and this is a good race for it. but I'm worried about Raging Force. The market looks fair. At the moment, it's 3s into 230. They've really backed it in. So it looks a 2-horse race with a couple of these should be around the mark. Baywatch or Baywactors also should run well at odds there. You get about $15 on the Smart Odds comparison. So wide open race there. But I am with Woderton. I think it'd be hard to beat. But again, it has burnt punters a few times, so just be wary. I'm keen as my best each way value, Captain Fury with J-Mac here. Maps nicely from the draw. I thought it was unlucky last start. It just didn't really get into the race, and it was $2.35. So keeping in mind that starting price profile, similar grade here, maybe a slightly harder race, but I think this is a really good bet, good each way bet, and looks a nice chance of a tone for its last start run. I'm also keen race 3 at Rosehill, Sacred Rocks. I've been with this all prep. It has been ultra consistent. Only missed the placings once. Its first couple of wins were excellent, and it's just got nice form lines for this. I think it's well placed here. It obviously bumped into the favourite Sister Day last time out without a whole lot between them. There was around about less than 2 lengths between them. Sacred Rocks, though, proven runner. I think it's got the runs on the board, and it likes racing here. If you go on earlier this prep, it just missed Brave One, and it beat Weeping Woman here, and all that form's excellent. I think it'll be very hard to beat in this kind of field. So they're the ones that I'm most keen on at Rosehill. Just a couple I do want to mention at Caulfield, away from the feature races, and it's race number 1. I'm keen here on Gilded Water. I really liked its last prep. It's had a decent break now. It's had nearly 8 months, but it was excellent last prep. 2 big wins, and I think it's got the upside to really give this a shake. Mark Zara's booked, so there's plenty of intent to be taking this out fresh. This looks a nice race for it resuming. So that's a fair price. I think it'll be tough to beat. The other one I'm just going to give a mention to in race number 3, the 1400, is Keep Your Cool. Another I've stuck with all prep. A good draw here. I think it's going really well. Good run last start behind Red Hot Nick and Stolly Bolly. Not disgraced behind Windstorm. It's been in some hot races. I think this is a decent step back from what it's seen, but it's nicely weighted with Logan Bates' claim. I think this is a good race for it, and you get around $10 on the odds comparison, which looks a fair each way bet. That'll definitely give punters a great sight. So I'm with Keep You Cool there. I think that'll run well from the draw. So that's all my selections for the weekend. But of course, you can jump online. You can find all the Joes and find all of mine, as well as the features. And we will be bringing the video podcast soon as promised. Just make sure as well to listen to the SmartB Sports Update for any updates on other sports around the world. Also sign up SmartB to get the Backer Winner newsletter, daily best bets, tip of the day, and daily updates in news and information for all your sports and racing. And make sure to follow the SmartB app on all social media platforms and Backer Winner on Twitter and X. Thanks everyone for joining me this weekend. Good luck with the selections. I think there's some really cracking races going around. I'm really keen on the Memsey Stakes. I think that's a lot of stars resume. And hopefully cheering on Treasure of the Moment there. But red hot race. And lastly, just keep an eye on some of the markets. There's a lot of runners that return, and some of the market moves might be helpful in letting you know if they're ready to go or not. It isn't to be followed like the Bible, but it's definitely helpful to know when they've got market support. Generally speaking, they're usually ready to go more often than not. But the market can be inaccurate and it's not everything, but certainly helpful with the amount of runners resuming this weekend. Thanks everyone for listening, and I'll see you all next week.
As they race up towards the line.
With a photo finish between second and third.
Oh,